Oh, you did? Okay.
You'll have to press and hold the power button, which it says mute.
Oh, hello? Okay.
Yep.
So I hold it right here like this? This is my mouth?
Yep.
Okay.
Should have looked. Do that again for me.
Hello? Is everything good? We're all good? Okay.
Okay. That's center. It needs to be tilted. It's not level.
Right.
Towards your left. Other way. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Is there, we need to tilt it up just a little. Okay, that's better. That's better. Oh, there we go. Far side's ready. It's on. And if we put it there, it'll be perfect. All right, we'll just set it out of the way for now.
Right and right. No, don't confuse me. Are you so sad that this is Are you ready?
Hey Robert, I'm putting Danielle's HDMI cable in the box.
Okay, yeah, well, okay. Because I know I have one in the back, if I have to pull one out.
So the old version of cookies.
Thank you so much, Michaela. Appreciate that.
Were you not present in the meeting?
I still think it's like, the only thing we do is we provide breakfast for Christmas thing. And we come to okay, why do we even have an association if that's all?
Did it the whole year.
I thought I could.
It's just dumb. I mean, I had.
The other question is how you sound out there. So just when it's streaming. So I'll fire mine.
Somebody go ahead.
Link is public. Ready to go. And here they all come.
So she could do
You gotta get a that's why.
Different in your body. We'll help you turn that on.
That's hello, 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 hello. It's choppy. This will be fun. So we are choppy. Okay. Move. I'm gonna have a tough time. I am so glad to have you here. The school board, district leadership, we are so grateful for your attendance. We're grateful to spend just a small moment to recognize an awesome career. Some of you started your career long, long ago, always with the district. Some stayed in their same position forever. Others changed schools. Some came, worked outside. This is problematic. Okay, we'll just keep going here. I forget, it's not me. I don't go mute on this, okay? But anyway, some of you came late. I'm sorry. Anyway, no, if you hold the mic. Oh, I know. Great suggestion, though. It worked for 2 seconds. Anyway, this is a little annoying. I apologize. I'm not going to last much longer with this, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, grateful for each of you. We're grateful for your dedication. We're grateful for the influence you've had on our students over the years. All you have to do. So, oh my heavens, are you kidding me?
He's afraid that this is going to be the same problem, and it might be. We're just seeing if it's going to pick up. Is it picking up? It is. Test 3, 4. There we go. Now we're picking up a little. That's better.
I cannot wear the microphone around my neck. Hey, it's an awesome audio. By the way, let's give it up for Harris Intermediate and David Lee and Gloria. Yeah? Yes, Ray, Robert Floyd. All right. So here we go. I've been instructed to stand right here. And when I call you, you're instructed to stand to my right. And you can look right into that little camera right here. You might be looking in your soul. But anyway, we'll have you there. Now, family members, if you want to take a picture, I'll just kind of step and you can take a picture of them. So come up and then etc. You can stay for the whole time. If you need to step out, we recognize that as well. So, let us start off. A good friend. A lot of connections. Gary Allen, come on up. Gary. He has spent an impressive 36 years with Fox River School District. He's been a teacher, been an elementary principal, a high school assistant principal, which is when I met him first. High school, and his most recent position, he's been a principal at both high schools. I mean, he knows our district, and most recent position, our assistant superintendent over secondary schools. Gary has served our students and staff extremely well over the years, and we will surely miss him. We hope he gets to go fishing and hunting every day. Some of you I know, some of you I know a lot better. And when you work with someone for a long time, you know you get to know. All right, Connie Anderson is going to give you a little bit. Yeah. Our special committee now at West. She's been very key in the operation for many years. She's been an aide, a bus driver, basically anything else in school. We appreciate her many years of dedicated service. Dan has worked for Box Elder School District for 26 years. She started as a classroom parent and then became a teacher in teaching career at Box Elder Middle, and then the last several years moved to Bear. So thankful for Jan and the impact. Over her retirement is extra special for Janice. I learned something about this next person, Jody Bear. It's a family connection. Jody started her career in the district in 1991. She's been a special education teacher of both Lakeview Elementary and Intermediate. Her sincere dedication to our district and our students is very much appreciated. So she is gardening. And now that we're out in winter, just yesterday, things are going to grow. Claudia Barrow. Claudia's been working in our district since 1988. She started as a speech therapist and has been a teacher in speech language pathologist. She has worked at the district office, Discovery Elementary, Mountain View, North Park, and Young Intermediate. That's Nashville campus. She has positively affected the lives of many students in our district. To be greatly missed. Welcome. Terry has been the backbone of the main office in Boston. As the head secretary. Before that, she was the registrar. To say she knows the office like the back of her hand. Terry's wealth of knowledge, friendly face, and the way she runs the office, praise to be great. But we hope she does enjoy her voice. I had a chance to work with her for many years. It truly is. Like, who knows what's going on? And it's been amazing recently. So congratulations. Lisa Brown. Lisa's not here. Lisa knows about social district nutrition as well as anyone. She's worked with Goodhill, Box Elder Middle, Lakeview, and Mountain View, to name a few. We're so thankful for the time and dedication. Congratulations, Lisa Brown. Very well. Just so you know, when I first moved to Brigham City, I lived just around the corner from Brown, and they were just the nicest. So my wife and I were being kind of sweet. Jerry Brown has worn many hats in her years with lots of school districts. She was very valuable aid to many of our teachers, other staff that started for many years. We're so thankful for her. She finished up with goals like she always has a welcome smile. Makes every student feel like they're in support. Go for retirement is obviously really beautiful. Congratulations. And that's boy. Oh, really? That's we're 38 total, 28 in addition. Where were the other? Wow, 38 years. That's really awesome. Teacher, support to school. Bring Motor and Foothill, all the elementary schools. She's given so many students confidence in their ability for dedication she has to our district. Very time. That. Way gets better. Uh, if I'm going to go here, I might as well just talk in my anyway, Nolan Crook. Rookie year. My family since 1993 to be together. Teach with him. Makes such a difference in life. So many students in wood, engineering, etc. He has helped so many find their passion. We will forever be grateful for him. We hope in retirement, wonderful building, great things. Over. Rosa, come on up. Rosa has been with us since 2000. He's with us last year, ELL classroom, and has made a difference in so many of our students. He has been an important part of teaching Fairfield High, Harris, Matthew, Willard, and others. We're so thankful for the time Rosa dedicated to our students. When I say I don't know if we can replace her, we haven't been able to replace her. I have to maybe talk her back to come back. But Rosa has been outstanding and helped so many of our students. Thank you so much. We're so sorry that we don't have a picture. We have tried so hard to find several pictures, and we just have to find one. But anyway, I was getting paid a little bit. She started a custom. She's been such an important part of daily operations of Boston University. Her hard work and attention to detail and desire to do a great job never went unnoticed. Maria Gutierrez. We supported for the district in 1996. For many other hats, she truly cares about children, and you can see her warm smile and welcoming person. Congratulations and wish them good. Carla Harvey. Carla started out as a parent for us. She took a short time off and finished actually a teacher starting in 1994. She's also been a literacy coach. She's helped some It'll be better. She's most recently been at 3 Mile Creek. She'll be greatly missed by students and staff. Congratulations, Paula. All right, my math buddy, Pamela and Tom. This is incredible. Pam, retired. So, probably 20 years times 5 classes times 34 times 3 trimesters, and then another 6 periods times 3. Oh, wait, you should know. I just think all the teachers, for all the students that went, and then their grandkids, another grandkids. They're maybe just kids. Okay. Anyway, what an accomplishment. She lives and she leaves big shoes to fill. She's like several students in her class. So thank you for her. You hope you enjoy every Saturday. Joyce, we call her Mrs. H. She's not real tall. The boy was young. And she worked in Buffalo High, special education parent in 95. In 2002, she became a special ed teacher, both at Harrison Intermediate and then Buffalo High. We truly hope the very, very best for her. She is battling some tough things right now, so she can't be here tonight. But we love Joy and we're just so grateful for all the wonderful students that she helped and staff. So, congratulations. I did not. Lisa spent an amazing 36 years with us at Fox School District. One of the accomplishments, she's worked in several of our buildings in several capacities, including teacher, literacy coach, and district literacy specialist. Lisa loves kids, she loves helping teachers get better. We're so glad. Hope she gets the very best. So, congratulations, Lisa. Come on. Kathy's been part of our district since 1997. She's been a very important piece of our preschool program, a very community supporting the staff, but all the children, the community. Up to you, right? We've all been wanting to help these kiddos. Yeah, right track. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoy. Dennis Lee. He started with us back in 2003, originally a first grade teacher at Willard. In August of 2005, she transferred to 3 Mile Creek. She made so many, much of that, such a major difference in the lives of so many students. Be part of 3 Mile Creek. So, congratulations. Didn't know she was going to come, but she did. Andy, Madison. I've got a 5-minute. Then he started her career with us in reception at Young Intermediate in 1996. In 2006, she moved to Fairwood High as a receptionist, and then in 2015, she moved into head secretary job. Sandy's time, organized, hardworking, even some work thinking. Wow. But we just are so excited for her new face. Thank you for all your efforts, Sandy. Phillips. Let's see. We started her years as a therapist of the school district in 2008. She's been a key part of many classrooms regarding with these kind of kids to make sure students have what they need to be greatly missed by the students and the staff. We hope you enjoy very much. Jan Rasmus. Jan's not here. Jan's going to leave some big shoes here. She started in 1992. She has served in several education support positions at several of our schools during her career. So thank you for many years of service and dedication. And again, as always, the influence she's had on kids. Thank you, Jan Rasmus. Michelle's not here. She's been in our kitchen since 2004. She actually left. But she's been in our kitchen since 2004. Five final destination has been young intermediate since 2010. She's been a wonderful addition to our kitchen. She's been in for kids first hard worker. We miss Michelle. Congratulations. Preston Ritchie. Preston has started working at River High in 2011. He built quite the robotics program, national champs, state champs, just put in a lot of time, donated a ton of money, his own money to help that program. Anyway, he loves kids, loves them to get involved in great programs. We miss Preston, although we hired him to come back part-time, very part-time, to kind of help that program. So Preston is. If you call the district office, you're talking to Julie Rupp. You walk in that main door, you're going to talk to Julie Rupp. She's been the face of our district. Not only smile on her face, she's hardworking. She has a couple of great pictures. It's really awesome. Anyway, she's been the chair, then the reception is the Brigham High and Brigham High. In the district office, the voice of us. Happy retirement, Julie. LaDon. Working since 1992. Started out as EDA at Fairfield, and then Garland Elementary in 1994 as a secretary. So, you know, we go to Garland. Oh, yeah. Done a wonderful job helping teachers, helping kids. She knows their names, she helps with all their shares. Can't stand up about one secretary. Thank you, Don. Enjoy. And thank you for your Another one, Janet started as secretary at McKinley in secretary of Art. Then in 94, she became secretary. Been after now for a while, taking care of business. Done more than keeping the school running in the most efficient manner. Janet is amazing and safe. Well, 2 years ago, we moved both principals out of Barry High. So now we're Barry Middle. So again, she's the only one. So now she has to train two principals and keep the school going. Ellie Westergaard. Kelly's been a key part of the special education department in the Terra for many, many years. He knows and loves kids, hard kids, good kids, positive kids, sometimes kids that are having rough days. She sure makes the teachers have what they need. She'll never let anyone feeling unwanted. Kelly has an infectious laugh, smile, and she will be so missed. We are forever grateful for all of the life and touch. The bus driver was the first and last person many kids got to interact with. The bus drivers, honestly, kids walk on, I don't want to be on the bus that morning, maybe they're having a tough day, they smile from the bus driver. It's the best way to start the day. Thank you. She's been keeping kids safe her first priority. She's driven the bus, oh, that sounds like it. I don't know. Anyway, she's been driving for many years, so the time, dedication, Sandy's been working in our school kitchen since 2003. Starting at intermediate, he's also been at 3 Mile, Rockville High. Sandy always has a warm welcome for the kids and always makes sure to give an extra hand when needed. We hope Sandy loves. Congratulations, and I hope you can. You think? Can we get a front and back sticker on this? Oh, Clyde, the reason why I did that is because you got me good at graduation. Well, that's yeah. All that. Why? Yeah. Twenty years ago, when he came to our head, 21. What about? He's been knocking that job out of the park. You know, Bonnie, we love him. He cares about people, especially kids. He wants everyone to be happy and healthy and successful. Give Miss Bonnie so much. For every time. Give Mr. Big and that is so congratulations, Bonnie Young. I just thought, I mean, come on up here, Preston. I know. I have to bring that up. We have everything. I'm going to just say a couple of words, okay? I'm going to read this a little more, okay? I'm going to read something. Again, I just want to remind you, he has built the best program for robotics in the state. I know they do the business, but someone has to encourage them, modify them, support them, nudge them, and that's great. Jeff Jensen does that too. I deflect. He's always been awesome. We go through topics, we take it, they're tough. And he has done a great job of motivating kids. Anyway, thank you so much. Come on. I don't look like Rick. You're a tall kid. We'll give it up for 30 years. He worked for our district for several years, 30, but 15 unofficial and 15 official. What's most amazing about Ray is his true dedication. He wants to educate those who want and need education. He's selfless, hardworking. He wants to see everyone become the very best they can. We're so lucky to have him. He's been at Sunrise for many years, helped kids and being a second chance. He's done a great job doing that. Congratulations. Well, I'm about to ask, I know you do not want to do this. I can please ask all the retirees one more time, stand here tight, take a picture, and you all take a picture, and then you can send your hated email to me later. Come on up. Right around this general vicinity. While they're coming up, let's give it up for all of them again. All right. Keith, you gotta get pressed. Right here. I
Gotta get over here.
all right, 3, 2, 1. All right, the school board, I'd like to shake your hand. Just right there. And Jim, why don't you start and just do a quick little shake hands. And you can stay for the next 3-hour board meeting. Or you can be excused. Thank you for being here.
I gotta say congratulations. Like if you're retiring.
Up on the works, don't be nice. Have a good time. Yes.
She didn't get to see you when you came in. Good to see you.
Go grab the mic.
Which one? That the one around the neck or the other one?
Just one of the hand ones.
Have they been using? And they didn't come on at all? They come on, they just cut it? Come up another projector. Right?
It's hitting you guys. Hey, Steve. Steve. We didn't hit the test subjects. What?
That's
Yeah, I really thought.
Robert, can you hear me? We're okay?
Still testing mics, Wade,
Okay.
but I think we're hoping.
We okay? We're going to. Testing, testing. We're going to start. Are we okay with this one? Does that work? Okay, that one works. Oh, okay. Okay. Those that have retired, if you'd like to stay, we're going to start our meeting. You're more than welcome to stay. Probably you've just experienced the highlight. It usually goes down from here. So just joking, just joking. Anyway, but you're more than welcome to stay if you'd like. We're going to begin our board meeting now. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. We'll call our board meeting to order at this time. We'll have our reverence tonight by Board Member Brian Smith, our flag salute by our Business Administrator David Roberts, and then we'll have recognitions from our board member Julie Taylor, and we'll go from there.
Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful to gather this evening with the school board and community, and grateful for the opportunity we have to be here to discuss the affairs of our school district. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve, to discuss affairs that are most important to the students and those who work in the district. We're grateful for the much needed worship that we receive through the week. And pray that as we approach the spring and summer, that the following mitigated system, any flooding will be reduced, and we'll be able to have the resources that we need throughout this time. We're grateful for this free country that we live in, great communities that we live in. For those as we discuss the affairs and do what's best for the students of our district. And say it in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Would the audience please rise?
Okay, this way. It was funny your kids said the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't often have the children at our board meetings. Thank you for saying the Pledge of Allegiance loud and proud. We have a recognitions here tonight, and I don't know if it's or not, but our first student is Lana Joanne. Congratulations, it's a pretty big honor. We want to congratulate you on being named the USDA, which is Utah Student Council Association Rookie of the Year. Oh, is the principal there, McKinley, so I really love what you said. I've had Mark here tell us I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with Lana for the past 2 years in McKinley Elementary as her principal. I've been very impressed with the way Lana has transitioned from her guidance council role at State University to McKinley Elementary School Council. Lana has hit the ground running in this position and is continually looking for resources and opportunities to help students and families. Lana is very selfless and is always willing to jump in and help where needed. Here are a few things Lana has done in her short time at McKinley Elementary. Listen to these. These are amazing. Started a weekend food pack program for around 40 packs on the weekend. Began the HERO, Here, Every Day, Ready, On Time Club, to help encourage students struggling with attendance to come to school and be on time. Introduced and taught our staff about restorative circles to help conflict resolution. Planned and carried out Hello Week to help students have a great start to the school year. Planned and carried out a Great Kindness Challenge Week. This year, students completed over 10,000 acts of kindness in 1 week. Amazing. Planned and carried out to help students be excited about and start planning for the future, implemented small groups to help promote positive social interactions between students and their peers. Congratulations, Lana, on receiving this well-deserved award. We are so grateful to have you on our team for the hard work and dedication that you put in. And did you hear all those names? What were they centered around? Students. She's helping students, and that's our mission. So thank you very much. Okay, our next recognition is Eric Stamps. Here. He got an award too, so we're going to read this. We want to congratulate Eric on his recent honor of being named the Driver Education Teacher of the Year for the state of Utah.
Oh, wow.
Teenager. One's got a license, the other is, oh my stars. So bless the driver education teachers like they, they're literally and the time they take all these kids. Let me read, this is what we were told about him. Eric is an outstanding teacher who walks up the school district in all secondary levels. Presently, he teaches at Berwick High School and is a favorite social studies teacher by all students. He is a master teacher and makes history come alive in all of his classes. Several years ago, he became a driver's education instructor and is one of the most conscientious and responsible teachers that we have in the driver's ed department. His follow-through is amazing. He is impeccable with his record keeping. He recognizes the great responsibility of preparing students to drive. He is recognized by the state as an outstanding driver's ed teacher. We want to thank Eric for his service and his life on the line, teaching students how to drive. And last but not least, we have Michaela Morris. She has been our student board member this year and has been absolutely amazing. We just love getting to know her. So, dear Michaela, thank you for your service. We appreciate your time and willingness to serve and stay in High School. You are kind, thoughtful, detailed, and willing to share. Thank you for making the effort to reach out to both high schools and to represent them and their interests here on the board. We have loved hearing the happenings in the schools and the good things that are going on. We have also appreciated your perspectives and that of the students as we have discussed start and end times for school next year and other issues that directly affect the students in our district. We're excited to see what the future holds for you as you graduate and continue on with your education and your life. Thank you for being a part of our board and being a positive role model to other students and to us. It has been a pleasure to get to know you and learn from your perspective. You have represented the students at Oxford School District very well. We wish you all the best.
We're going to give tonight a graduation way. Of course, we'll know the colors: red, black, and white. So, Michaela, wear this proudly. Thank you so much for all you've done. We love you.
Okay, okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? So we'll start with public comment. We have two individuals here for public comment. Just we ask that patrons who give public comment that they state their name prior to making their comments. The individual with the representing group, they can take 6 minutes. Also, we ask that if you have those of the board members, the board will not take final action on any item unless it is on the agenda tonight. Comments on personnel issues will not be. So at this time, we'll begin. So they'd like to come up.
I have no about the baseball coach here at high school. I have 3 of our seniors behind us. We just wanted to come up and tell the board thank you. We have a couple of thank you notes for helping us get our brand new bleachers. It has brought a ton of energy to our ballpark with our fans. And we've heard so many comments from our fans and the people in the community about the upgrades that we've had. We just want to tell you guys thank you.
I'd just like to second what you said. A lot more people have been down in the games, it seems like, because of the bleachers, and there's been a lot of good comments about it. And they did a good job trying to keep them clean, so thank you guys.
We'd like to shake your hands. We'd like to shake all of your hands. Now have a public comment from, is it Laura Kennedy? Laura? Okay. That's good.
I guess it's kind of a question and a comment. So, depends on the question. So, the question is, do we have fires in all of our schools and all of our classrooms? I don't know what kind of systems you have.
I can tell you that I believe we do, but I'm not sure. We're trying to pass them all out, some principals are here. Not in the classroom, but in every building, you do, Randy? I would say now,
I went to PTA convention, still going on, and I went to one of the groups and they said that we could get free ones. And all you have to do is email them and they will give you a free thing. And I said, what are those trainings about? Free animal trainings. And they said, no, it's part of the COVID relief program. When they gave out free stuff with COVID, and it's for free. So if you needed more, I have the information here. I don't know who would need that. So thank you.
Yeah, I would give that to the superintendent.
We have got a bunch of those. I'll check into more before we are.
Okay. So Laura, the superintendent will check on that and we will get back. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay, this time, that's all of the comments we have. So we will go into our certified employee and volunteer recognitions. And AJ, are you in charge of that? Oh, Randy, something else. Okay, very good.
Randy likes to talk about it.
Thank you. We're here tonight representing the Box Elder Administrators Association, and each year it is our privilege and honor to solicit nominations from the staff of Box Elder School District to nominate some of their colleagues they feel have gone outside the box, if you will, to benefit benefited students and other staff here at Boston School District. And so we'll start with our outstanding elementary administrator. So we're going to start at the bottom. And if we could have Krista Ross come forward. Go ahead. This tribute was, she was nominated by Monica Freeman, who is the head custodian of Willard Elementary. Up here, they said. Krista is a special needs young adult lady who volunteers in our kitchen at Willard Elementary. She is in charge of handing out silverware to each of the students and does the dishes. She stays consistently busy, always looking for other things to do when she finishes her assigned duties. Krista actively seeks out this volunteer position, arrives every day, stays until the job is done, schedules days off. He also brings treats for the students on their birthday. He deserves to be recognized. And so, Krista, we have this certificate and this plaque for you. And thank you very much.
Stay close, because we're going to have you come back up and shake everyone's hand. Okay, Judge Jensen. Robotics program, but I don't think the robotics program works without Jeff. Is that a fair statement? So Jeff has volunteered over 500 hours each year as a coach for our robotics team. This is a completely unpaid position. In fact, he frequently has reached into his back pocket to make things happen. Extremely well with robotics kids and has a lot of success and a lot of their success due to his mentoring and coaching. So we want to say thank you and recognize you. The related Southern Services of the Year is Carla Barber. She is best known and has touched many children's lives for the past 35 years in the Box Elder School District. She retired in 1988. How old I was in 1988. I was still in high school. That's awesome. And developed the original speech preschool program. She's now 22 years, as well as being a speech therapist in those preschool classrooms. A little nervous because my speech is kind of blurring together. Okay. She trained many parents and mentored preschool teachers. She supported many parents, especially those that learned their child has special needs for the first time. Additionally, she taught a parenting class in the evenings for a few years. When the need arose to help students that were not quite ready for kindergarten, Carla taught a class for those students from 2004 to 2007. In 2013, she went back to being a speech therapist in schools. She again helped her students to use vocabulary and make correct sounds when speaking.
Carla is a team player and always helped with any school activity. She spent extra time brainstorming with teachers to help their students and the teacher. The number of IEP meetings she has attended are held are boundless. She has many positive attributes. Words cannot describe Carla, or words that best describe Carla are dependable, hardworking, determined, a problem solver, counselor, creative, positive, and focused. But most people, co-workers, and students call her a friend.
I kind of like Ben. I get to work with Ben every day. And so this is, I'm not going to read it all. There's a lot that was written about Ben, but I'll read a little bit. So Ben is an amazing man who has done a lot for our schools out west. Ben has been our Western Schools counselor for 5+ years. It gave us stability. Our students have someone who cares about them. He always goes above and beyond. He has supported students in divorce situations.
and how to navigate the new schools as they, quote unquote, come to town. He meets with students whenever needed, making the trip out or even using Zoom. I've been able to go with him on some of these trips, and the car's fully loaded with junk for the kids. No wonder the kids like him. He has met with students at the hospital when their family member was injured. He was there and helps them work through the feelings and emotions they're dealing with. He has saved students when they felt that there was not any hope left. Wow. He is truly an amazing man who loves his job and those he works with. So I'm going to stop there, but Ben Wiley, thank you.
Our next award is for the Southern Secondary School Teacher of the Year. And this award goes to Tammy Lynn. Tammy, congratulations. Tammy is a teacher at L.C. Young Intermediate School. And this is what it says about Tammy. Tammy Lynn cares so much for each student she has. She always takes the time to check in if they are sent to the office for medical reasons. She always makes her students feel needed and important. The students love her so much. Because she teaches, corrects, but shows she cares for her students. And I can vouch for her. I'm at the same school as Tammy Lynn right now, and she is amazing. Congratulations.
All right, it's my honor to award the Northern Secondary School Teacher of the Year to Morgan Christensen. I'm going to go off script for a second. This award just goes to show how education is a family business. Because on the night that her mother retires, Morgan is awarded this. I'm going to read the tribute that was written for her. Morgan always goes above and beyond for her students. She continues to check up with them after they age out of her class. She is very positive with the students, parents, and staff. Students feel she truly cares about them. Thank you so much, Morgan.
And we have the Southern
Elementary School Teacher of the Year. That goes to Heidi Jensen.
Teaching in the highest impacted school in the district is not for everyone, but Heidi Jensen is amazing at it. She has been at Lakeview a long time, and we hope that she never leaves. She truly loves her students and the parents, and her students, parents, and teachers love her. She has high expectations for all kids. Her class is fun and engaging room with music and learning for all. Her quiet demeanor and caring personality lead people to trust her quickly. Everybody needs a great teacher like Mrs. Jensen. And our Northern Elementary School Teacher of the Year is Nicole Nelson. So Nicole is skilled in helping her students learn to read.
She's able to bring in her own knowledge of teaching kids to read and has helped her students immensely. So thank you for your service.
Okay, our next award is for the Secondary Administrator of the Year. And this award goes to Gloria Dabb.
Hey, let me read this. It says, Gloria has been at our school for the past 2 years, and she has done an amazing job. With her hard work, her fun and direct character, her constant support and understanding, her listening skills, and giving her 200% every single day, she has won the hearts of our staff.
She has also been a wonderful model for the students who respect her and have changed a lot of behavior issues thanks to her. Whole school culture has changed partly thanks to her hard work, patience, persistence, and growth mindset. She is definitely a person to look up to. David Lee and Gloria Dabb were the perfect balance for our school. We are surely going to miss her next year.
For our district administrator of the year, the award goes to Keith Miko. Off script quite frequently, but I don't
do it seriously very often, but I'm going to be completely serious. I've had the privilege of knowing Pete for 30 years. And I got to know him really well when we commuted together in Utah State when we both started working on a master's degree. And I can honestly say that I don't know a finer man, person, and a better friend than anybody in the district. So for everything you've done for me and to me. You can't video anymore. Somebody else has got to do that.
Elementary Admin of the Year is Mark Taylor, McKinley. Mark Taylor has been an amazing, this is great, that this isn't me writing this, you'll hear it. So. Mark Taylor has been an amazing principal. He has been extra supportive regarding some difficult students that I've had in my class this year. Mark is an amazing leader who has really turned McKinley around in some great ways. He moved me to first grade this year. I was devastated when I was told I'd be leaving kindergarten to move to first grade. He knew what he was doing when he moved me. I had an extremely hard year. It has been equally amazing year at the same time. I have learned and grown so much as an educator this year. I worked with an amazing team and have really learned to love being a teacher this year. Mark will be missed big time next year.
Thank the Box Elder Administrators Association for these recognitions. And everyone that received the recognition, if you would come up, we'd like to shake their hands to the board.
Give me screens, so it's on your eyes, and then take care of the other cameras.
Don't be shy.
Okay, we will now continue with our board meeting. We'll go on to our action items. Our first action item is the approval of the 2023-24 board meeting calendar. Steve, Superintendent Carlson.
Well, each year we have to approve the calendar for our board meetings. It is the second Wednesday of every month is the general rule, except for in the past we haven't done a very good job in October, because October our fall break is usually the Thursday and the Friday after the second Wednesday of the month, and so the only difference in this particular calendar is that the October board meeting is the third Wednesday of that month, so that everybody can enjoy the full fall break. So with that, I'd like to propose, that's what we presented.
Have any questions or comments? Yes.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the calendar that has been put together for us for July 2023 through June 2024.
I'll second.
Okay, Connie Archibald has made the motion, and Brian Smith has made the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We have a new board calendar. Okay. Okay, our second action item, approval of a third-party vendor to provide training for child sex abuse and human trafficking prevention, training and instruction, and that's Superintendent Carlson.
As you can see, I'm not sure what you can see, there are 5 attachments with this particular action item. In Utah Administrative Rule R277-630, it goes through the regulations that we're supposed to do for this, and as you can see by the heading, it's sexual abuse and human trafficking prevention. And in that rule, it goes through a lot of things, but it does tell us that what we need to do. I think, Keith, can you go to, I believe it's the project overview. Now that we're here, I see if that's the one. Yes. That goes through all of the information about this particular topic. This was passed through the legislature a year ago, not this past year, and it took quite a while for the Utah State Board of Education to vet companies to provide the training, and we've selected, I don't know if it's called Protect. Oh, it's 3 strands. I'm sorry. You see that right there? It's 3 strands, and what this is about is to not only train our administrators and our counselors, but also our teachers, but then also, as you can see a little further down there, that we're supposed to have, I believe it looks like it's, I don't know what's, thought it was, oh, right there. It's this, page 3. It tells us that we have to have 2 30-minute lessons in K through 3. And just for anybody, because of the sensitive nature of this particular topic, this is a situation where parents will be notified of this particular training and have the opportunity to opt out. So in the K3, somewhere in that range, and I believe this will be, we haven't worked this out yet, but I think the plan is to have the counselors actually come in and provide the training. All of the curriculum for this has been vetted by the State Board of Education and this particular 3-strand organization. Then in grades 4 through 6, they have 2 45-minute lessons during that time. And then in grades, and you can see the, for K3, it's My Inner Voice. They each have a topic. And then for grades 4, 6, the topic is Safe People, Safe Places, Safe Choices. And then grades 7 through 8, 2 45-minute lessons, Protecting a Masterpiece. And then as we go up a little bit, in grades 9 through 10, 2 45-minute lessons. There, I'm not sure, we haven't talked, but I would presume this might be
done in the health class. Gary, would you think that would probably be what we do? And understanding and recognizing human trafficking, and then grades 11 through 12, building resilience and protective skills. And that's what this is all about, is trying to provide awareness and skills to understand maybe some of the things that go on in this world. And I would suspect there are a lot of people think this is unnecessary, but it is, sorry to say, happening in our schools. And we do all we can, and it's one of those problems that's only going to get worse unless we do something to educate all the people, starting with our children and families. And then there are also some opportunities, I believe it was in this flyer, that talked about having some training for parents. And so as we get further into this, we'll try to provide that training so that they understand a lot of that. Just this past year, Gary, this past school year, we've had one on the north and one on the south of this particular topic already. So I think, we'll probably provide that. I'm not sure how often. Sometimes if you do it too much, they just have a tendency to overlook it. But we'll try to provide that training. So we're supposed to get board permission to use this 3 strands curriculum and the 3 strands program. And so that's why we're here tonight as an action item to receive permission to go ahead and hire this company.
Superintendent, was this the topic that I called and talked to you about several weeks ago? The parent had contacted me about this curriculum. Remember that?
I don't think
Okay, that was something different. Okay. Okay.
I just wondered who that would include, if you know.
Well, we have our school resource officers at all of our secondary schools.
Who is, I just don't know what their title
The
is.
police. The police.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, and they're hired by both Tremont and
Comments?
Discussion? Okay, do we have a motion? Nancy has made the motion, and Julie Taylor did the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Okay. Thank you. So action item number 3. Reports, and that's Megan Bushnell, our new services executive director. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you. I've never done this.
What's up, Megan? Okay, so just so you know, you're not loud. Even he's not loud. I'm sorry you're having we work them out, but it's guaranteed. I'm struggling because as long as you're talking to the mic, I'm hearing you over there, and that's for our recording. I don't know if Dave's recording in the background. I'm hoping he is. It's good backup, but if you don't use the mic, I'm going to end up having to mix it all and take a ton of time. Not an audience anymore, so we think we don't need the mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So I am moving into this new position, of course, just kind of taking over for Jackie Medicare. I was able to gather all of these House Bill 58 plans from each school. And that's the bill that helps with like smoking cessation and
vaping, and most schools just do a positive behavior plan to try to help support the decrease of that in our district. So do I just read what I put on the thing?
Just the recommendation.
The recommendation? Okay, I'll read it verbatim. It is recommended that the positive behavior support plans for each of the Box Elder School District schools be approved as written. And I move that the board approves the PBS plans. Oh, no. Okay, recommends. I can see. I can see the. Like a green box. Positive behavior support plans.
Okay, Eric Cronin has made a motion, yes. Okay, Brian Smith made a second. Any discussion? Any questions? Before we vote? Okay, okay, all in favor, say
Aye.
aye.
And I just want to say, like, this has been never elementary having a little bit of money to help positively support our students has been amazing that we have that money set aside to reward them for all positive decisions that they're making. So, thank you.
Going to go to the approval or and that's Eric Alvin, our assistant superintendent, and also our assistant superintendent.
Okay, I think there's some problems on the secondary load. Just real quickly, just go over the main things on the secondary ones. Lots of highest credit deficit, student engagement. Sunrise was graduation because we're on the CSI plan. Bearable High was failing grades and attendance. Box Elder Middle was maps testing that we do in reading and math. Bearable Middle was same on reading and math, and intermediate, the math testing with literacy and math, the same with those. So I would recommend that you approve both secondary and elementary as they were submitted to you. So that would be the recommendation, you approve those.
Joe, you have anything?
No. Yeah, with the academic achievement increases in the area of the
Comments? Okay, motion.
I'll move to the school life.
Kennedy has made a motion, and Daniel Wright has made the second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Breakfast rest increase at St. Robert's Business District.
Okay, yeah, looks like in there you should have the price increase. We felt like, with the current status of revenues and the cost of food, that we needed to have that price increase. Before we did it, we made a recommendation, to kind of make sure that we weren't, our estimation was not out of line with the surrounding school districts. And so you see there, that we did, go around to the surrounding school districts to make sure what the prices will be before we make these recommendations. As you see there, we are increasing elementary, intermediate, and high school with an additional 20 cents. The middle school 25 cents. That puts the kind of the grade level at the same price range as elementary, and intermediate at the same price range as well as middle school and high school. It's not a huge increase in revenue. We're serving roughly around 50,000 breakfasts right now. We anticipate when students start have to pay for it, that participation may go down slightly. But previous numbers, years previous to COVID, we were paying, is in the high 40s. So I don't anticipate that it's going to drop a lot, but maybe into the mid 40, 40K area that maybe it will drop. So, any questions that you guys have for us?
It's kind of not about the prices, but what is the model going to be next year for breakfast? Because like with our elementary going later, that everything's going to be before school. Is that right?
So we'll still be serving breakfast before school. The alternate breakfast, any student that comes in that needs breakfast after the bell rings, will grab that meal, breakfast from the lunchroom, and then go to the office. So we will not be serving any breakfast, even though that's what it's
Is there questions? Just a comment, we've all felt the drenching increase cost of foods. This is very hard. For what we've been able to do here, it's still very reasonable.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this evening the breakfast prices, the increase for the coming school.
Archibald's made the motion. Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Julie Taylor has made the second. All in favor, say aye.
President, I just so you notice too, I hope right following that, I did, you guys did ask about the funding and what the sources for the funding for our child nutrition program. So I did show that to you guys, roughly, basically between our high 70s to low 80s is where our federal revenue comes in. It does show our state revenue as well, and then what we receive in lunch sales. So I subtracted the lunch sale out because that's not really revenue that we receive from outside sources. So I didn't include that in that percentage of what is federal versus state, as you can see in that. And then also too, just wanted to let you guys know how many students are participating in our free as well as our reduced. That school with the highest participation is an elementary school, and they are the highest with free as well as reduced. And then our school with the lowest is another elementary school, and again, they also have the lowest in free as well as the lowest reduced. So it's the same elementary school that has participation and also different, but same elementary school that has the lowest participation in free reduced area. So any questions on that? And then while I'm here, this was something you guys asked for last board meeting, and that was just what we figured would be the estimated cost, utility cost added for adding those AC units into those buildings. And so those are there to kind of give you a rough idea. But it should increase our electric utility bill, $100,000 a year to have those AC units.
Explain that.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Okay, let's move on to our information items. Secretary Carlson, 2023 legislative review.
I think, Keith, if you would please go to the letter. And we've talked quite a bit about this legislative session. And so my focus tonight, except for any questions that might come from the board members, is to talk about this particular letter. You can see by the date at the top, April 24th is when it was sent. And this letter was discussed a lot the last 2 weeks of the legislative session and the joint, the JLC. And the JLC is the Joint Legislative Committee. This is just once again, it's for the Utah School Boards Association membership, the Utah School Superintendent Association, and then also the Utah Association of School Business Officials, which is our BAs. We meet every week at the legislature, or sometimes we meet at Granite School District just for sheer access to get there a lot easier. And this letter, as you can see, wasn't sent out until about 2 weeks ago, I guess that would be. And there was a little, it took some time for it to go through the process of the USDA's organization to go to the board of directors. And two big things, a lot of things happened in this section, but two really big things happened in this section. One of them was the first 3 or 4 days of the session, that was House Bill 215, where vouchers were passed, and it, hopefully we won't see as much harm done to public education as many of us fear might happen, and so I won't wax on about that. We've talked about a lot. The second big thing, which may be bigger, is the resolution SJR10. And what that is currently in the Utah State Constitution, there's provision that talks about income tax. And currently, it says in the Utah State Constitution that income tax is to be used only for public education. And that doesn't mean that all income taxes go to public education, but that's where it's supposed to go. And if you paid much attention throughout this last legislative session and or throughout the years, income tax, this by the way, this provision was put in the Constitution, I believe as long ago as maybe the 30s or the 40s, possibly the 50s, but so long ago when income tax was not really the biggest type of tax, property tax and maybe even sales tax, but now income tax is absolutely huge. And there's an imbalance in the state of Utah, and I'm trying to look at this from as about a neutral as I can, in that there's a lot of need for roads, there's a lot of need for public services, our UDOT, all the mental health, all the state programs that there are, and there is a lot of need in our state for support through tax dollars. And so the legislature has been talking to public education and the state in general for the past, I would suggest, 3 to 5 years, pretty hard about changing that Constitution, that portion of the Constitution. And what SJR10 is, with Substitute 1, is a provision that we start working on that now and work through that, because the only way you can change the Constitution is through a ballot on the election, which is not until November of 2024. And so when that happens, they're going to change the Constitution, and what exactly the wording is going to be has not yet been determined. And that's why this letter has been written. We wanted to get this letter out right now because last year the legislative session got over, and I would say a large portion of the education community, 90 to 98%, kind of took a deep breath and got through that one. Didn't think much about the legislative session throughout the summer. Then the fall hit, and the next thing you know, we had HB 215 when House vouchers passed. And also throughout the summer, they were working on this resolution to change the Constitution. And so we are bound and determined, and through this letter, we, and I will say this, there's a group of our leadership, Larry Ferguson, who's the superintendent down in St. George, Washington County, and Rick Nielsen from Nebo School District, along with Lexa Cunningham and Linda Hanks. Lexa Cunningham is our executive director. Linda Hanks, I believe now is the past president of the USDA. If they do currently, Bridget Hart is the president, and they've been in meetings with Senate and House leadership during the end of the legislative session. Then we decided to put together this letter, and so you can see this is sent to all the senators and representatives. Then you slide down really quick to the bottom, and then I'll have you go back. It is sent by the USDA Board of Directors, the USSA, which is the Superintendent's Association of Officers, and then UASDO, which is the Business Administrators leadership, and it was CC'd to all these folks. And so if you go back to the top again, sorry for the back and forth. I'm not going to read this whole letter, but I think there's some key points that we want to point out. First, it says in the second paragraph, first, thank you for the commitment you've made this year to public education. Now, part of this commitment to public education, quite frankly, was to show their good faith that they do want to go forward and fund public education appropriately. And they partly did that by starting out this year with, the It's called the educator salary adjustment, which is $4,200 for all certificated teachers, not all certificated employees. And then also a 6% increase in the WPU. And, 6% is really pretty substantial. We haven't seen that very many times over the years. And so between that 4,200 and the 6% for just our teachers, and then if you include our steps and lanes, teachers are going to get somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 to 13% raise this year if you add all those things together. Step and lane, right, just so you know, counts for about 2.5%. So, first of all, we'd like to thank the, our legislature for the commitment. We do appreciate their efforts. You can see in HB 394, you can see that there's a whole harmless provision, public education enrollment, that there'll be a 2% help for distribution on the passage of SJR 10. And so because this year is such a huge year, they actually took 2%, set it aside, and some of it seems a little bit leveragey, if I can say that word. They're using leverage and say, hey, if you get that, then you'll get that money, plus whatever money that there is available in the next couple of years. One of the things, and I hope Laura Wink has just been down to the PTA convention just today, and it's in tomorrow. And I don't know, did you guys talk about this yet, PTA?
We got something about it, a week or two ago.
Okay, so you know about this. The reason for that is the legislators are making sure they get all education entities on board. Because they know that they have to have the PTA on board, they have to have the Utah Education Association on board, they have to have Utah Board Association, Utah Association board members. What was that? USDA, thank you. 1,000 times in my last. Maybe 10,000. The Superintendent's Association. So they're really working with us to try to make sure that come that November date in 2024, that we're on board to help pass it. Because if we are contrary, and when I say we, I'm talking about all the education entities, we could defeat this quite easily. We've shown that before when we had the voucher referendum in about, 10 years ago maybe. Anybody have a better memory than I? But they passed it, and then we had a campaign to get it put on the ballot and all kind of things. So they understand the power of this public education entities. The second thing is we'd like to schedule time during the interim, and just for everybody's understanding, the interim is basically any time from the end of one session to the beginning of the next session. Well, it seems, but that's what that means. And we eagerly look forward to working together to support the needs of education community. And I'm going to read the next paragraph. I apologize for reading. While there were bills to support education, in this session there also was an increasing number of bills that negatively impact children. As stakeholders, we would like to work together throughout the interim and the 2024 legislative session to introduce fast bills that are supported by the entire education community with the intent of creating an education system that supports student learning and teacher autonomy. While we have the best economy in the nation, our goal is to have the best education system in the nation. Exclamation point. Work together to identify bills to support elevated education will benefit all. And just FYI, committee that's being supported by the Superintendent's Association, and there's about 8 or 9 of us, and what we're called the past presidents. And I was past president of the Utah School Superintendent's Association, and now there's also about 7 or 8 more of us. Just an FYI that you will find, I think, kind of interesting. There are 41 districts in the state right now. 26 school districts have superintendents that have 3 years or less experience in their position. And so you can see that we're really, and quite frankly, when you become a superintendent, it seems bizarre, but really the only way to learn how to be a superintendent is to be a superintendent. And the legislative portion of the whole thing really is about being involved in learning and advancing to the past president of the Utah School Board Association and the amount of time you spend on the Hill and going through all this information, it's like a fire hose of learning for the 4 years that you're getting in the. When you get in those positions, you're usually the first vice president, and the second vice president, first vice president, president, and past president. So for 4 years, you're really in the program. And so this group, right now, we're identifying legislators that we can get them to run bills. Instead of sitting back and taking positions on bills or trying to manipulate the bills after they're run, we're actually trying to work on identifying senators, and there are many senators and House members that are willing to run bills for us. And so we're identifying them, we're putting the bills together, and working with the State Board of Education, who has attorneys that can help write. And so that's one of the things we're really trying to work on, let alone working with the legislative leadership as we're going along, to try to make sure that this bill is going to, what they're telling us, just in a nutshell, is they're going to provide a certain inflationary guarantee every year that education will get X amount. Still working out that particular number. They're also saying that every year they'll look at the amount of money available and give us money on top of that. Those are the types of things that we want to make sure that we have in place, so in writing, and approved in both statute and in the Constitution, so that as we go forward, public education will be able to, continue prospering. And I think as this letter stated, not only do we want the best economy in the nation, but we want to have the best education in the nation, because both of them play off of each other. There's a lot of research that shows that great economies are the result of having a local public education, which really supports a lot of this certain economy. And as we all know, we have a lot of technological companies up and down the Wasatch Front. And so to have our students be able to leave school, many of them can leave high school and actually get great jobs, let alone be prepared to go to college to help support the needs of the state for people to grow. So down on number 3, we talked about the dialogue between the two. I'll just read quickly those 6 number points. Increasing funding for public education beyond that inflationary increase. Number 2, increased emphasis on local control and flexibility for local school boards. And it's interesting, as I've been part of this for a long time, the state legislature gets so mad when the feds tell them what to do. Then the state board gets so mad at the legislature when they tell them what to do. Then the local school boards get so mad when the school board tells us. And then you have the legislature. And then, a lot of times, at the board level, they follow these rules, then the principals get mad at them, and then the teachers get mad at them. So it's that's really the case. But it's interesting how we're always, and it mentioned up there further, about teacher economy. Well, there's a certain degree of economy that, we all want. And so I think the system that we have currently is a really good system, as long as it's not too heavily controlled by, the feds in Washington, D.C. Surely shouldn't be telling state of Utah exactly how to educate their kids. But at the same time, the USBE that's centered in Salt Lake shouldn't be telling somebody. So it's an interesting dynamic. Number 3, reduction in administrative demands. And one of the things we've been asking for is we have audit after audit after audit. They're both financial and they're in all types of areas. It just seems like with every bill that gets passed, there's more audits that we end up with especially our business department, just changing their tail, putting together numbers, to send another report back to the state office. It makes it hard to do their job, making sure that, our employees are paid and just all of the things that are done. So it makes it tough. And so, number 4, Nancy mentioned this earlier, elimination of unfunded mandates. We're fortunate because that mandate to teach about sexual abuse and human trafficking wasn't unfunded mandate. But luckily, it was, in our case, only a $5,800 unfunded mandate. Because quite often, we get told we need to do something, they don't provide fiscal note for it, and we end up having to use our own local funds to take away from paying teachers and our ESP employees, which just has always been an irritant to all of us. Number 5, automatic inflationary adjustment to the certified tax rate. We've also talked a lot about to them about truthful taxation and trying to do a little bit more for us in the fact that they want us to seek more local support from our tax base in our counties, but yet they make it more difficult to get that support. And so we're trying to get a little bit more support and be able to use our local tax base in the future. And then number 6, commitment to items in the education community. And that was based on this committee working together to try to work with our legislators. We have what we call in the legislature really friendly legislators that really listen to us. I would be happy to say that Scott Stanton is one of those who listens to us. Joel Berry was a proven member of that particular group, and so is Lee Perry. Now, Joel's been replaced by Tom Peterson. I believe he's doing everything he can to show that he's concerned. It still takes some action for a few years. I'll just say that out loud. And our replacement of Lee Perry is Matthew Gwynn, who is, I believe, from Roy, and he represents probably Perry, and I don't know how far up in Brigham City he goes, but what portion of it. So we really need to work with Mr. Representative Gwynn to make sure that he's there for us. And then finally, it says, finally, the future of education is in our collective hands. I know that seems kind of gloom and doomy, but it is a pretty big thing. This really is, and that's why I'm taking so much time on this. So I just want you to know that we have met last week. I think June 5th, there's another meeting, I can't figure it out. Have administrative meetings that day. We're working, I feel really good about the group I'm part of. And, you know, the fact that we're going to try our best to make sure that we have our fingers in the language as it's proposed in the Constitution, and also any statute, any bill that goes, will be a lot more involved and not get caught on our heels come, you know, that fateful day in February when the legislature say fateful, but that's what we do. With that, I know it took a long time, but and there's others, you know, that we've talked about. You've had a chance to look at and read that, probably a 20-page document that came from the USDE. Each spring after the legislative session, they hold our spring conference down in St. George. We go down for 2 days, and for 2 straight days, and we had our business administration sat together, and that State Board of Education's office, Superintendent Sid Dixon, Angie Stallings was kind of the main to tell us what each bill meant. And there's so many, I don't know where to begin to talk about that unless you have specific questions. So with that, I'll turn the time over to you guys.
I just have one specific question. When you talk about mandates, were there any in this past legislative session?
Yes, right now I can't tell you which ones that they are. There have been, you know, every time we go through those bills, and when we're that joint legislative committee we talk about, it shows the bills, and it always has a fiscal note, and it says either none, which is there too much, or it allots, you know, 10 million, 3 million, 600,000, whatever the case might be. And you know, in the case of well, not session 23, but session 22, there was a mandate to try to do more with our more rural schools, and there was $90 million appropriated. And just an FYI for our board, I think I've said this before, but of that $90 million, we get right close to 1.92%. So when you get $90 million, like 1.92%, $1.8 million. And that's because that's based on the fact that our 12,000 plus kids make up about 1.9% of the student population in the state of Utah. So I'm sorry, I can't think of that.
Well, programs that are in place like this, trafficking and things, those are usually. I would say are usually unfunded mandates. It should be some legislative really good idea. This is going to be a great program for all our
Well, there was one, Gary, you might have helped me with this.
Was that the safety one?
They took a whole about it. There's also in our English high school requirements, there's a requirement that we cannot quite figure out exactly how it's going to come about yet. It requires half of the credit or a quarter credit from some sort of public speaking. And it was put in there, and right now there's actually, what was the term they used? They wanted to have, the USP said to me, he said we want to have, delicate ears, or there was some word that they wanted to get a group of people together to try to figure this out. And here's the point I'm trying to make. The legislator that ran that bill, this happens to be speech teacher in one of our schools in the state. And so that's the kind of things that happen in our state. Somebody thinks, oh, I want kids should have speech. You know, I mean, I've been in debate, one or the other. And we think it's good to do it in English, just a regular English class, and be able to, have them maybe recite or, paper or something like that. Those are the type of things that happen. Somebody's got some unique idea. This is the Jamie world. They run the bill and somehow. I'm not going to lie, I'm not for that. Just things we talk about in the JLC, they got it somehow, and then all of a sudden we're going, where did that come from? So that kind of stuff happens.
That creates some challenges for the half credit.
Yeah.
And how you work that into what the president had.
But they still only require 3 credits.
Yeah, the green hat.
So it's just great. But I think it can work out some other way, and they're working with that particular legislator now. It's interesting, they can run a bill, they can pass the bill, but then in the interim, the legislator can actually say, well, this is really right. And so it seems out of it's hard to get.
Well, the interim session is coming up.
Superintendent, one comment. I hope, not only this is, but I hope, as board member, we conferences and training we go to, it's a data-driven decision, right? I hope somebody, not only that is, this association, as we're working through, working with the legislature, is getting that data, knowing the numbers, because things have changed. So, in the data, keep it. We're looking at that, so that we're making the right decision. I hope there's somebody doing that.
Well, they are. If you remember, and I want to say it before I make the next statement, I really honestly, Scott Stidham has been voted, not voted, but in his voting for public education, he's always ranked as one of the highest in support of public education. And so this is not what I want to remind us of. I believe it was when we had our December board meeting, pretty sure. That particular time, he talked to us about this constitutional amendment. He also mentioned the voucher. All of us had tons of research back about so they're doing their research that we're trying to our back then. Unfortunately, they don't issue you want to, so. Anyway, we're working.
What is the current WP at the end?
It is, they did 4280, oh, yeah, 242.18. 4,280 homes. It was 4,038 this year. 1,038 for this year.
Any other comments? Questions? Okay, thank you, Superintendent. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Your financial report, David Roberts.
Okay, so I've had a items in here. I know some of those are relatively small, but they did, we spent more than we had budgeted. So, for example, 48, if you look at that item, we were 190% of our budget. That had most of those expenses were related to a software. That budget line item there includes dues for like the National School Boards, the School Boards Association. You guys participate in, that's what those monies come out of. Are charged to the software. There was a software program that was charged that was made largest line. We keep going down. Line item 39, 139, and 140. Those usually are recuperated toward the end of the year, so we're hoping we get something in there. I would anticipate, just based off federal funding revenues that we receive, that will be less than what we anticipate. If you look at all the other federal revenue items that we've talked about, they've all been under what we estimated in our budgets received this year. Line 160, the reason that's over a little bit, which normally didn't happen in the budget, is because of grassroots. Grassroots elementary, getting that furnished. Line 194, that one was over an additional 34% over its budget, and that was a new copy of the ship that was needed in the child nutrition program that we anticipated. Fails. And then the aging services down in 210, our revenue there has been low. That is a swing that we do with, I don't know how many schools, to be honest with you, but like Morgan and a couple of the small schools that we share services for. That revenue is brought in from that sharing. I don't know if it's because we're not sharing as well. I mean, in the same box, same sandbox this year, but that revenue. Other than that, I also want to remind you that even though the salary may show that we are under a percentage of our year that we've already spent or already passed for our budget year, that remind you that there are still three paychecks left to be paid to the majority of our teachers, and that's because they receive a check in July that is still posted to this contract year, even though it's paid at the end of July. So we still have 25% of our pay that is still owing to our teachers. So just know that that expense is still relatively low compared to the amount of our budget year that we've already passed. Any questions? So I'm just going to also let you guys know that I am working at the high probability of requesting TNT in August, just because of the amount of inflation that has come through, and what I anticipate are going to be some big capital costs that are coming. We are, I would say, probably the bottom 10 percentile of our capital outlay levy. Out of all the school districts, we're in the bottom here. One of our greatest needs is capital to go forward. So I'll be looking at what that will do and how much money we're able to probably receive revenue if we not be signed of that tax. But that is because we just don't have ways to grow and schools. So just to give you an example, all the school districts, most of the school districts around us, Ash, Logan, Weaver, and Lawton, they're receiving like 16 to 22% increase in tax revenue, and we're receiving. So we can't even compete with our surrounding school districts, just because mostly because of
of the growth, and a lot of it's initiatives that we just don't have right now. And so our actual people with surrounding school districts, so we need to do something in preparation for the next 60 years for our capital, mostly our school buildings, and so that will be something that I will be including in the budget for June. So you don't guys don't get that big shock as far as that's concerned, but I'm not anticipating huge, but it will still be needs. Yes, definitely do. I should be maybe going a little bit earlier, but we'll do what we can.
Where it would be, and where it would black, and that really bother. And
Also, to let you know that I met with Box Elder County and Brigham City Utah, just to kind of get their numbers and their impact anticipating somewhere between 4 to 5% growth rate next year, as opposed to the double digit that we received the previous 3 years. So the growth we're anticipating is going to drop almost half what they have received previously. So that does affect us. We get tax revenue off of the growth. And so that's not going to be as much as we historically received. So there's a lot of things that come into play. Most of it is we need to prepare ourselves for what we want to do in the future of the business. Any other questions?
just a comment, I would like to hear you say that it shouldn't be too big. I can kind of like Nancy, increment at the time that everybody's feeling the pinch right now with the economy. So I hope that this board don't go out too big. So again, you said it should be too big or should be a shot. So I'm just saying I would support as simple as possible while building the needs.
Any other questions regarding finance? Okay, thank you for your support.
Appreciate that. Okay, do we have any board committee?
Just a heads up that the Boys and Girls Club annual auction dinner will be yeah. So just kind of put that on your calendars. It usually starts like about 6. Usually hold it there. Put that on your calendars.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Michaela, do you have our student member? But first of all, before we begin, all of us.
You're welcome. Okay, so Box Elder, they finished all their school dances and they're wrapping up all their AP testing, just winding down. They said everything is set for graduation and all their events are planned. May 15th, or the week of May 15th, they have their Senior Spirit Week. May 17th, they have their Scholarship and Awards Night. May 22nd, they have a dance concert. And then May 30th is graduation. And then for Bear River, they had their already. And then their robotics taking place 13th at Worlds. The FFA greenhouse is having a print sale tomorrow from noon to 3:30. They have their red and white dance May 13th. May 23rd, the FFA is having a farm field day in Howell. May 25th, they're thinking VR. And they have a ton of senior activities, senior sunset, and motorcade, and then May 31st is graduation. And that's it.
Right, and we put June, this is 16th. It is June 16th, Friday night. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to our policy. 291. Any discussion on that? Okay. Aaron?
Wondering, I saw that it broke. I just wondering why they did that.
Yeah. I think I can talk about that. A couple of things. We're the only school in the state that's deciding to tackle. I know it is a little surprising, but no one else drug tests for that particular drug. We're really trying to help curb that. We're trying to help them change. We're trying to give them support. We're trying to change a lifetime and not punish necessarily my ability to go to school, participate, but we know that if we don't get this snipped, it's going to be a long haul for them. Now, it's never been there. Just started. I'm not saying that we can, but you approved, so third trimester, Fox Other High has done this. And they've had some amazing experiences with 2 students in the. When they knew that they did their drug tests, they knew they were testing for nicotine. They came in and they said, you know, why? And they go, yeah, I've been vaping since I was 12 on a regular basis. And I want to change. One said, I've been off for 4 months knowing, this sport is coming up. But I got some friends. I got in this ball where I was feeling down, and I got tempted, and I took it. And it showed up. Well, we got mom to help out. We have the student confessing, not trying to hide anything. We have our cessation program and supports to help her. And so far, she's been clean the rest of the season. The purpose is, instead of saying, hey, you're gone for 2 weeks and thank you, is we're trying to do a restorative process to help these kids maybe break a lifetime. Now, we do think that eventually it needs to turn in, but we're trying really a preventative measure for some kids that can't get out. That's our purpose. Now,
This just our district or the state? I'm just trying to.
nobody in the state is doing this. That's why we're a little nervous that we have the big hammer coming down when Cache School District is not doing this. Weber and Davis, who Box Elder competes with, is not doing this. And all of a sudden we have this high bar and we can take out a player and no one else is even testing for nicotine at all. So I guess one thought is if you don't want to tackle that as a board, we can take it out and stop doing that. We think it's been great. We've had some great experiences. We think it's a preventative measure. Parents are involved. Kids want to change, but they're addicted. And that's why we're proposing it be a little different than a hard drug, because they're not the same drugs. I've got marijuana heavy in my body versus I vaped a little bit. And again, I get it. It's wrong. But we felt like there needed to be a difference of the type of drug and the, how hard it was. So that's a great question. I appreciate it. But again, we jumped in because we felt like there was a need, and there is, but we didn't want to feel like that, hey, you vaped once, we caught you, versus marijuana use or other hard drugs that might be a little different. We're still going to tackle those and go through a process of restoration, restorative, but also give the punishment to be a little more severe. This one, still a punishment, more education, opportunities to change.
So, are the coaches behind this? I'm hoping. that
Yes,
it's
yep. They're all behind it. And again, I'd like to run this for a while and see, how many kids we can save. And yeah, they're going to lose some time. You're going to see that they have to lose a game. And then they have to be part of a cessation program for 2 weeks. So it's not just a, you know, we're going to try to nip it early and make a positive change in their lives. So it's a great question, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks. I hope it does. I hope it helps them.
Yes, Nancy.
I was back at the National Mother Year Convention in Omaha, and they brought in some amazing speakers. And they had this gal come in who is dealing nationwide with kids and issues. And she said, by the time a kid in America graduates from high school, 95% of them will have vaped at some point in their lives. And we were stunned. I mean, we asked her, are you sure your data's correct? And she said, yes, this is the newest stuff they got. 95% of our kids are vaping at some point. And it's just insidious. And so when Keith sent this to Tiffany and I on the board, I had just come home from that meeting.
Like, yes, I think we need to do whatever we can to help these kids. Having had grandfathers who struggle with this, it's fighting. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting step. Well, and I was at the meeting at Boston. They announced it with this is happening. And I thought it was great to be up front and kids knew about it, and I and I think that the way it was presented and the way it was handled, kids understand this is a real business, it's important.
Comments on that sharp data that we do every other year. It shows that vaping is the number one risk factor in our district. So that's been determined by the student surveys that they take. The second thing is I attended a conference that involved just all health providers, and in that meeting, the research also suggests that if you're vaping, that is now considered a gateway drug, and that's going to lead to a lot of other more serious things. When we do our safe schools, we are, as far as our neighboring schools go, we are the only ones that are doing an intervention on vaping. It's so prevalent in, especially I'll just refer to Ogden District, they don't even do anything with vaping. They confiscate it according to the state policy, and then they're back in school. And we do intervention for all vaping as well as marijuana. So we sense the need and help to intervene as best we can.
Comments?
I have a question.
Okay.
So what, I see sports.
The activities, what is the line drawn for what's an activity? Like a club isn't an activity, but.
Yeah, so let me, there's a definition here I want to send you to. And it's on page. It's on, it's under definitions, B5. Here's the definition. Extracurricular are all activities sponsored by the Utah High School Activity Association. So those are the 24 sports that we have. That includes cheer, drill, that includes theater, which has never been tested before. Anyway, anybody that's under the umbrella of UHSAA. And school organizations involving adjudication or competition, which would be if you're in any type of activity that's outside your school, you're competing against other schools where there's judging going on. Now, our FFA kids have adjudication activities outside of the school with other people at state and so forth. They would be part of that during the trimester if they're in that competing season. Also, or representation of the school in the community is determined at the school level. So there's been some talk, you know, let's say we have the madrigals or chamber singers, and they then go out to a community activity, should they be tested? And again, that's at the school level, should they be tested? Now, school plays, things are all inside. We're not going to do that. We just felt like, let's just start with UHSAA. Let's get with anybody who's doing adjudication. So anyway, you can kind of look then now in 6, student government. They represent the school. They go to other high schools, and that's certainly somebody. You'll notice that FFA, again, is part of that. And then D, band, orchestra, choir, drama, speech, and debate. During the trimesters, they participate. Now, not every kid that's in those is going to go competing outside of the school. So what we've added is the teacher advisor will give a list of those to the athletic director. That will be a part of that because they're actually competing outside of the actual high school. If they don't compete outside of the high school, they're not going to be part of this umbrella.
What about FBLA and HOSA?
Yeah,
and the
anybody
robotics
that-
club, because they compete outside the school.
Anybody that's outside the school will be part of this and will receive a list. We didn't list them all because there's so many and they're so different. But anybody that would be in that will be part of it. And it is random. Great question. Thank you for that.
President, I make a motion that we
Approve first reading policy and second reading policy.
Fleming has made the motion, and Connie Archibald is second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We go on to the second reading of policy 5, student behavior management. Any discussion? Oh, did you say first and second? You're going to put it in second. Okay, so we'll go to the board discussion items. Study. This month, superintendent has chapter 7, and I have chapter 8. And then next month, on June 14th, Brian has chapter 9, and it's chapter 10. So, superintendent.
I'll be quick here. I have a couple paragraphs I'd like to read. And the name of my chapter, I thought was very appropriate that you should for this. Give them the wheel and let them drive. And on page 124, second to last paragraph, it said when employees take ownership of their work, it completely changes the way they treat the business they work for and the way they treat its money. There's a shift in perspective that takes them from, I work here, to I'm building something. And I think when we say money, we can change that out for students. And so I think that's very important when we look at that. I'd like to read one more chapter. As a young man, I was alive when President Kennedy was assassinated. In school when he was assassinated. And I remember being just taken by his incredible magnetism as he spoke. And so on the top of page 125, about 4 lines down, you can see President Kennedy visited NASA. He said he was impressed by the dedication of the engineers and technicians and the courage of the astronauts. But one person impressed him the most, a humble janitor. While the janitor was mopping the floors in one of the hallways, the president decided to introduce himself. The janitor gleefully shook the president's hand, honored the opportunity to be in his presence. "What do you do here?" asked President Kennedy. The janitor smiled. "Well," he said, and I believe that we have a lot of custodians. We honored a lot of people tonight. We have a lot of food service workers. We have a lot of bus drivers and paras that are helping prepare doctors, lawyers, technicians, and great people in the rest of this great world. And so with that, I believe we need to let everybody take the wheel and drive. And maybe I was a driver's ed teacher once for 5 long years. I used to have a full head of hair prior to that. But be ready to grab the wheel in case it's going off the road. But let them drive and let them make mistakes.
Thank you, Superintendent. Hey, I had chapter 8, and what I picked up in chapter 8, you all, in any organization, you have employees that you want to keep.
want it to move, you don't want it to quit. So a good thing to do is to have a status interview. So a status interview, for it to have value, it's crucial to first establish an element of trust for a team. You go into the status interview, it's essential to understand that the status interview is not the time to place blame or discuss performance issues. It's simply a way to check the status of your people and to create an action plan. The three things you should discuss in the status review is, first of all, what can we do to keep you here? Before you even ask this question, you must first begin with some local praise and acknowledge the reason you're having this meeting is because of the value that they bring to the organization. The second thing is that what's getting in the way of reaching your maximum success level? When was the last time you asked an employee what obstacles they were facing as they pursued their goals? Are there skills they want to learn? Does their schedule work well for them? Or does it need some adjusting? Then the third thing is to how can I help you get where you want to go? When you're a mentor, your job is to connect your people to their dreams, whether within the company or outside of it. This question is important because it puts you in the position as an advocate. When an employee feels fulfilled in life, they're less likely to seek out life changes that will take away. And in it says, after your status interview, it's crucial to write out the plan. You need to do a clear statement of the goal you set together, the actions you will take as a manager to reach that goal, the actions the employee will take themselves to reach the goal, the dates by which these actions will be completed, and when a follow-up meeting will take place. Copies of the growth development plan should be made for both you and your employee. The script will make it clear that you're working with the employee as a partnership. It will also communicate to the employee success. I just thought it was a lot of good information about things we can do to keep the employees that are doing a super job. Okay, so we'll go on to 9 and 10 next month on June 14th, and that's right. Okay, now we need a motion and a second to accept our consent items for tonight. Second?
I'll second that.
Julie Taylor made the second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, our consent items are passed. Any suggestions for future board meetings? Okay, just remember that our upcoming events are and that's always a fun time. Graduations.
Mike's adult Weaver State on Box Elder, so I'll be getting that information a few days before to make sure we're all lined up. We also.
Okay, any questions, Tiffany? We can do that. Sure.
Can I ask?
We can do that for next month, probably. Okay.
I also have a question about the teacher at Cross Creek.
If we go back to
Is that a smaller school?
So they have family there, which will allow the spouse to go back to school and get their license. Right.
And we've already interviewed and replaced him. Right, Joe? Is that correct? You know the name?
I don't remember.
Michaela, do you know?
He just my neighbor.
Yeah, they were really excited. I don't feel that.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, but people. Her mom.
Okay, if we have a motion and a second and a vote, and within 50 seconds, we can end on time. Do we? Rhoda made the motion, do we have a second? Connie made the second, Connie Archibald the second. All in favor of adjournment? Any opposed? Okay, you made it.